There's one number that decides whether this trick works in your house, or does almost nothing. And almost every video showing you this trick won't tell you that number. A window AC unit can run you $30, $40 a month in electricity. Central air, a lot more than that. There's an old trick that costs you almost nothing. It really can cool a room down, but it only works if one thing about your house is true. And I'm going to tell you that thing right up front at the end of this video. Stick around for that number. It's the difference between this trick working and you wasting an afternoon. Here's why this matters every single summer. Running an air conditioner all day adds up fast. Window units, central air, it's all real money, month after month. And it's not just the money. A hot bedroom at night means bad sleep. A hot kitchen means you dread cooking. Some people just live with it all summer because a new air conditioner or a bigger electric bill both feel like more than they want to deal with. For some of you, this isn't just uncomfortable. Heat is genuinely dangerous for older folks and little kids. A room that won't cool down is a real problem, not just an inconvenience. Run a single window AC unit most of the day through a hot summer, and you can easily add over $100 to your electric bill. Across those months, that adds up. Central air costs quite a bit more than that. That's real money for something that just keeps a room at a normal temperature. Not a luxury, just normal. There's a quieter cost too. Nobody wants to sit together in a room that's too hot to relax in. Everybody drifts off to whichever corner of the house feels least miserable instead of actually spending the evening together. And here's the frustrating part. Most people assume the only two choices are running the air conditioner or just suffering through it. Nobody tells them there's a real third option that costs almost nothing. That's not because it's some secret. It's because it got forgotten, the same way a lot of these old fixes did. Once buying a machine became the easy default. Now, a portable AC unit is an option, but a decent one still costs real money up front. Plus it drinks electricity every hour it runs. Add up the unit itself, plus what it costs to run all summer, and you're looking at real money before you've cooled a single room. That's a lot to spend just to find out if it even fits through your window properly. A plain fan alone helps some, but a fan just moves hot air around. It doesn't actually make the air any cooler. There's an old trick that does something a plain fan can't. It actually pulls heat out of the air for the cost of a towel and a bowl of water. But here's what almost nobody tells you up front. It doesn't work the same everywhere. And that's exactly what we're covering today. Long before anybody had a window unit, people still had to get through August somehow. And what they used was water. Not power. Water. A wet sheet hung in a doorway. A damp cloth over a window screen. Simple as that. And it actually worked, because of a piece of basic science people understood without ever calling it science. I've used a version of this more summers than I can count. Long before I ever thought about buying a machine to do the same job. It's not a new idea. It's an old one that a lot of people simply forgot, once machines made it easy to stop thinking about it. You've actually seen this same principle at work without realizing it. Ever hung wet laundry outside on a dry, breezy day and noticed how cool the air felt right near the line? Same evaporation, same cooling, just nobody had rigged it into a fan yet. Old-timers didn't need a word like evaporative cooling to use it well. They just knew wet cloth and moving air made a hot room bearable, and that was enough. Before window units were common in every house, a lot of families spent their hot evenings out on a porch instead. The house itself held on to heat all day, and the porch caught whatever breeze there was. This trick brings a version of that same relief indoors, without needing to move your whole evening outside just to feel comfortable. Here's the plain version of the actual science behind it. When water turns from a liquid into a vapor, that takes energy. That energy gets pulled out of the air right around it. That's why you feel cold stepping out of a shower, even before you're dry. The water evaporating off your skin is pulling heat away from you. A wet towel in front of a fan does the exact same thing on purpose. The moving air makes the water evaporate faster, and every bit of that evaporation pulls a little more heat out of the room. That's the whole trick. No motor, no refrigerant, just water doing what water does. Out in the drier parts of the country, people built entire devices around this same idea. They're called swamp coolers, and in a dry climate, they still cool a house today, running on a fraction of what an air conditioner draws. We're just doing the simplest, cheapest version of the same principle with things you already own. Alright, here's exactly how to do this and how to do it right. First, get a large towel or a bedsheet completely soaked in cold water. Wring it out so it's damp, not dripping everywhere. A bigger piece of fabric means more wet surface, which means more evaporation. A hand towel does a little. A full bedsheet does a lot more. Second, drape it over the front of a box fan or hang it right behind one. You want the fan pulling air through the damp fabric before that air ever reaches you. The moving air is what speeds up the evaporation. Without airflow, this trick barely does anything at all. A word on the fabric itself. Cotton holds water well and evaporates it steadily, which makes it the easy default. A bedsheet or an old bath towel both work fine. You don't need anything special. Any fan works, but a box fan tends to do this best. It moves a wide, direct column of air, which is exactly what you want pulling through the wet fabric. A small desk fan will do something, just less of it. Third, position the fan so that air actually reaches where you sit or sleep. This sounds obvious, but people set this up across the room and wonder why they don't feel it. Close enough that you feel the air directly. That's the whole difference between this working and just having a slightly damp fan. One safety note, and it matters. Keep the fan itself dry. You're wetting the towel, not the fan. Position the fabric so water drips down away from the plug and the motor, not onto or into it. A towel on a drying rack or a curtain rod just behind the fan works well for this. A variation on the same idea, a shallow bowl or tray of ice water set right in front of a regular fan. Same principle. The fan blows air across the cold water's surface, picking up the evaporative cooling as it passes. This version works well on a desk or nightstand where a full towel setup would be awkward. It's a smaller effect than the towel method, but it takes less than a minute to set up and costs you nothing but a bowl and some ice. Fourth, keep it wet. A towel dries out in 15 to 30 minutes depending on how hot and dry it already is where you live. Re-soak it as it dries, or set up a second one to swap in. How do you know it's actually working? Hold your hand in the airflow coming through the fan. In dry conditions, it should feel noticeably cooler than the room air around it, not just damp. That's your sign the evaporation is doing real work, not just adding moisture. And now, the number I promised you at the start. This is the part almost nobody tells you. This trick works by evaporation. And evaporation depends entirely on how much moisture is already in your air. That's your humidity. According to Rosanna Heating and Cooling, below 30% humidity is the sweet spot. The air is dry, it can soak up a lot of moisture, and you'll feel a real, substantial temperature drop. Between 30 and 50%, it still works, but weaker. You'll notice some cooling, just not dramatic. Above 50% humidity, this barely helps at all. The air is already holding about as much water as it can. There's nowhere for that evaporation to go. You might just end up with a damp room and no real cooling to show for it. So before you try this, check your local humidity. Your phone's weather app has it, usually right next to the temperature. Takes 10 seconds. Most weather apps list it as a simple percentage, right alongside today's high and low. If yours doesn't show it plainly, search your city name plus the word humidity, and you'll get a real number in seconds, not a guess. If you're under 30%, this is genuinely one of the best free cooling tricks there is. If you're over 50, I'd be lying to you if I said to expect much. Save yourself the wet towel. Generally speaking, this trick is strongest in dry inland regions and weakest near coastlines and in the humid south and southeast. But your own number, checked today, beats any general rule about where you live. One more timing detail worth knowing. Humidity often runs lower in the afternoon heat than it does in the muggy early morning, even on the same day. Checking your number right when it's hottest, not first thing when you wake up, gives you the truest read on whether this will help. If you want the honest version of these old tricks, the ones that actually say when they don't work, not just when they do, consider subscribing. That's genuinely the whole difference with this channel. Fifth step, and this one's free. Pair this with your windows. Run the wet towel fan trick pulling in outside air during the cooler parts of the day, morning and evening, and close everything up once it heats up outside. You're not fighting the heat all day. You're using the cool hours to your advantage. and holding onto that coolness once the hot air starts pushing in. Do all 5 steps together on a dry day, and you can genuinely knock several degrees off a room. All for the cost of a towel and whatever a box fan costs to run, which is pennies compared to an air conditioner. Let's cover what you're probably wondering, because a trick that dodges the obvious questions isn't finished. Will this make my room feel damp or musty? In dry conditions, no, because the air can absorb that moisture without feeling wet. In humid conditions, yes, this is a real risk, which circles right back to that humidity number. Above 50%, you're adding moisture to air that already is plenty, and that's when a room can start to feel muggy instead of cool. Does this cause mold? Not from a few hours of use. Mold needs sustained dampness over days, not an afternoon with a wet towel. Just don't leave a soaked towel balled up in a corner afterward. Hang it to dry fully between uses. What if I don't have a fan? You can still hang a wet sheet in an open window and let a natural breeze do the work. It'll be noticeably weaker than a fan actively pulling air through it, though, since a fan is doing real work here, not just adding comfort. Can this actually replace my air conditioner? Be honest with yourself here. In a dry climate, on a hot day, this can make a real, noticeable difference. Some people genuinely skip running the AC because of it. In a humid climate, this is not a replacement. It's a minor helper at best. I'd rather tell you that plainly than have you disappointed. Does this work in a basement or an already cool room? Less impressively, simply because there's less heat to remove in the first place. This trick shines in a room that's actually hot, where there's real heat for the evaporation to pull out. How much does running the fan actually cost? A typical box fan uses very little power compared to any air conditioner, only a few cents worth of electricity over several hours. That gap is most of why this trick is worth trying at all. Do I need to babysit this the whole time? Not constantly, but check it every 15 to 30 minutes on a hot day, since a dry towel does nothing at all. Set a phone timer if you tend to forget, the way I sometimes still do after all these years. Does using ice water instead of plain cold water make a real difference? A little, at the very start. But the evaporation itself, not the water's starting temperature, is doing almost all of the actual cooling work. Plain cold tap water gets you nearly the same result as ice, for a lot less hassle. Is this safe with pets in the room? Generally, yes. Just keep the setup somewhere a curious dog or cat can't knock the fan into the water, and you're fine. Common sense. Same as with any fan and any bowl of water in the house. Should I combine this with closing my curtains during the day? Absolutely, and it makes a real difference. Blocking direct sun keeps the room from heating up in the first place, so this trick has less work to do once you run it. The two together beat either one alone. Should I just buy a real swamp cooler instead of doing this myself? If you're in a dry climate and want this running for you automatically every day all summer, a dedicated unit is a reasonable upgrade. It costs more upfront, but less fuss day to day. This Talon fan version is the free way to test whether the whole idea even works in your climate before you spend money finding out. I have allergies or asthma. Is added moisture in the air a problem? For most people, no. This is a temporary, mild change, not a lasting one. But if you're sensitive to humidity or mold specifically, introduce it gradually and see how you feel. That's the same sensible approach you'd take with any new change to your home environment. What if my wet towel keeps sliding off the fan? A few binder clips or clothespins at the top corners hold it in place against most box fans. Some people rig a simple rod or dowel just above the fan to hang it from instead, which keeps it steady for hours without any fussing. Can I run more than one fan and towel setup in the same room for a bigger effect? Yes, and it does help in a larger room, though you'll notice smaller and smaller gains from each additional one. For most bedrooms, one well-placed setup covers the space just fine. Does it matter if the fan sits on the floor or up higher? A little. Cool, heavy air naturally sinks. A fan positioned lower in the room, blowing across where you actually sit or lie, tends to feel more effective than one perched up high, blowing across empty air near the ceiling. Let's talk about how this fits your specific situation. If you're in an apartment with just one window, hang the wet sheet or towel directly over that window screen. Put the fan just inside, pulling air through it into the room. Same principle, smaller setup. For a bedroom at night, set this up an hour before bed so the room's already cooling by the time you lie down. Don't start it cold and hope it catches up while you're trying to fall asleep. If you want to cool more than one room, you genuinely need more than one setup. This trick cools the air right around the fan. It doesn't push cool air through a whole house the way central air does. Cooking heats a kitchen up fast. Running this same setup in a kitchen doorway during and after cooking clears that heat out quicker than just waiting for it to fade on its own. If you're somewhere very hot and very dry, the desert Southwest for instance, this trick can be dramatically effective. That's exactly why swamp coolers, the manufactured version of this same idea, are so common out there. If you're somewhere humid, the Gulf Coast, the Southeast, don't force this one. Put your energy into shade, cross-ventilation at night, and blocking direct sun through windows during the day instead. Different problem, different fix. And if you've seen our other videos on this channel, several of these old fixes work while stacked together. Blocking the sun during the day, then running this evaporative trick in the cooler evening hours, does more together than either one does alone. On a covered porch or in a garage where you're working, the same setup helps too, especially if there's already some natural airflow moving through. Outdoor humidity swings through the day, so check your number again in the afternoon, not just the morning. If you're in an RV or a camping trailer, this is one of the few real cooling options that doesn't need shore power or a generator running. Same towel, same fan, just a smaller space for it to actually work in, which if anything makes it more effective. Worth saying plainly, humidity isn't fixed. It can swing 10 or 20 points between morning and afternoon, especially near a coast or after rain. Check it before you set up, not once at the start of summer and never again. If you're setting this up for an elderly parent or relative rather than yourself, check in on it for them the first few times. Confirm they actually feel the airflow and that the fan and cord are placed somewhere they won't trip over reaching for the towel. So here's what actually matters, if you remember nothing else. A wet towel, a fan, and a little airflow can genuinely cool a room for close to nothing. Just water and basic physics, understood generations before air conditioning ever existed. But it lives and dies by one number. Under 30% humidity. This is one of the best free tricks there is. Over 50%, don't expect much. Check your number before you try this, not after. Before the next real heat wave hits, do 3 things now. Check your humidity number today, so you already know if this trick is worth setting up. Find a spare towel or old bedsheet and set it aside. And figure out where your fan will actually sit so you're not scrambling on the hottest afternoon of the summer. 20 minutes of getting this ready ahead of time is the whole difference between staying cool the first hot night and spending it uncomfortable while you hunt for a towel. That's the old way. Still works. If you want more of these old fixes, told to you straight, including when they don't work as well as the videos claiming otherwise, subscribe. That's the whole channel. And I want to know something specific from you. Tell me your city, or just your humidity number off your weather app right now, and whether you're planning to try this. I'll actually be reading through and replying to what people say.